Hello, and welcome to the next in my series of blatantly obvious videos. I call them blatantly obvious because there should be something in us that just says, well, this is really obvious. But we've been pushed so far from reality that sometimes we just don't see the things that are staring us in the face. Something I talk about a lot, particularly on my residential courses for instructors, is about the difference between theory and reality. We're taught so much in theory, especially in dog training, that seems to make sense. But when you scrape just below the surface, you think, well, does that really make sense? In reality, is that really a good plan? One of the ones I hear about all the time is the importance of providing dogs with mental stimulation. And I hear this all the time, and in theory, I get why that seems very important. But here's the reality. If you look around you, pretty much everything that you can see, your dog can smell all the time. The walls, the floors, the ceilings, if the windows or the doors are open, all of those things that are outside, every bush, every tree, the grass, every animal that's been across it, from tiny little snails and bugs right up to other cats and dogs and foxes and badgers. Your dog's smelling all of that all of the time. Imagine the amount of brain power it takes to process that. Your dog is stimulated all the time he's awake, and massively so, and constantly processing all of that information. And yet we're told we have to keep him even more stimulated, as though that's stimulation enough, as though that's not stimulation enough. An adult dog, they say, should spend about 15 hours a day sleeping, and a puppy as much as 20 hours. The rest is cramming in all of this information, and yet we're told, even when they're at home supposedly relaxing, they should be kept mentally stimulated. And as though all of that stuff that they can smell and see and hear is not enough, we've been told we have to create new ways to keep them stimulated. And imagine, while they're processing all of that, what we've been told is the best way to keep them stimulated is to get a piece of rubber, stick it to your wall and cover it in peanut butter and let your dog lick it off. And somehow this is mental stimulation. Or we're supposed to get a mat and we hide bits of food in it. And we let him find all the little bits of food and work out exactly where they're. And somehow this is supposed to keep him more stimulated than all that stuff he can smell and hear and see. It's just madness. The licky mat that he's licking the peanut butter off of, that's not stimulating him. He's just eating. When he's snuffling around, he's not going, wow, this is tiring me out. I don't suppose any of you that ever used a snuffle mat gave your dog the snuffle mat, he snuffled around for a while and then just went off to sleep afterwards. He was so tired. No, that's just called eating. He's just eating. It's not complicated. If I want to get my dog stimulated, do you know what I do? What most of you probably already do. I get off my ass and I take him for a walk. There, end today's sermon.